this time I would like to introduce our keynote speaker, Chelsea LeValley. She has been doing workshops at the Clute Institute now for 3 or 4 years, and she has a theatrical-based background, and she is going to talk about putting the present back in presentations today. So I will now give the floor over to Chelsea. Thank you.
Thank you so much. When I was a little girl, I used to, at recess, get my friends together in this quiet area of recess, away from all the games and the sports, and I'd see if we together could create a story, write it down, and then convince our administration to let us perform our stories, on the main stage. And it worked! So from the time I was 9 years old, I have been writing plays, making theatrical productions, convincing other people that my story is worth hearing, and then doing it, making my story come to life. So what I bring to you today is an opportunity to get connected with some basic storytelling principles, and to also practice the art of just reconnecting with our presence. How do we just get back into this form of being that we used to do all the time when we were children? So one of the things in my training, I've been performing as can you hear me okay? Let me just double check this is on. Is this better? Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, better.
Wonderful. Thank you. So since I was a little girl, as I said, I've been playing dress up and playing pretend and living believably in an imaginary circumstance. And I ended up taking that training to college, and I studied, I got my BFA in music theater, performance training, and while I was there, I was also studying leadership. So the practice of being a leader. And the two of those disciplines combined has made me very interested and passionate about this ability to be present and engaged with audiences, both in the classroom, in the workplace, and also in a live theatrical production. Also, side note, I'm an adrenaline junkie for outdoor sports, and so I've worked on both coasts doing theater for the last 15 years, but I predominantly do theater in Seattle, Washington, where I can also snowboard during the day sometimes. So what I'm up to, who am I? As I told you, I'm also part of the union. There's an Actors Equity Union, and that comes from doing it for many years. So I'm a union actor. I'm also a director and a facilitator. So I've done multiple trainings with different leading technical organizations, Microsoft and those kinds of places. And that has come through my acting training and being invited to speak at some of those places. So what you're going to see today is a bit of that information, some of that training, but with an educator spin. So in addition, for half a decade, I've been a program developer for a research-based organization, and that's how I got involved with the Clute. So I started coming here to talk about dramatic arts-based pedagogy and how you can use that to further your classroom environment. So what are we up to today? Who are you, and what brought you here to Clute? So can I just have a show of hands if you came because you are also an educator? Are you an educator? Will you show me by a show of hands if you're also an educator? Lovely. You can look around and notice who else is in the room with you. Mm-hmm. Lots of educators. If you're a researcher, will you do a waving hand? Lovely, waving hands. Some of those are both educators and researchers. Yes, there's a lot of those. If you're here for a different reason that I didn't mention, will you show me by pointing a finger of an idea towards the sky? Great. We have some other ideas. Would you shout out one of those? Any of the fingers pointing to the skies, different reasons you're here?
We're doctoral students. That is part of our doctoral program to come to academic conference.
Lovely. Doctoral students coming to an academic conference. Anybody else with a finger pointing to the sky?
Orlando.
Just being in Orlando. Yes. It's a great reason. Great job, Clute. Yes. Thank you. So lovely. The next thing I'd like you to do is have a moment of connection with somebody near you. I'm going to give you a question. The question is, what is your favorite Disney park, or if you've never been into the Disney parks yet, which do you imagine could be your favorite? and why? What's your favorite Disney park and why? Can you please turn to somebody near you? You only have 30 seconds to do this, so just choose and go. Here we go.
No, I have not got
I don't think I will.
Yeah, I'm gonna go tomorrow.
Where are you gonna go?
I'm thinking about a magic.
What's your favorite Disney park?
Not familiar.
What do you imagine might be?
That's the Disney original.
That's my favorite. Reminds me of my childhood.
Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, why for you?
Yeah, they have
Because my daughter
Because your daughter loves
Magic
it.
Kingdom.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for sharing.
Hollywood studio.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Wrap up your conversation. Here we go. Great. Would anybody like to share one of their answers to their question? Is there something that you learned about somebody near you that you didn't know? Is there some sort of story somebody told you or some sort of connected point? And if you have something you'd like to share, I'll know it because you put your hand up at me. What's something that somebody shared from what's their favorite Disney park and why? Yes.
My colleague said Animal Kingdom because she appreciated the avatar and the simulation aspect of the experience.
Yes. Is there anybody else that also is excited about Avatar? Yes. We see lots of hands and very excited hands in the back. Yes. Lovely. Thank you for sharing. One more. Yes. I agree. There's no other place in the world, she's saying, that might feel as magical for children. I agree. Magic for all of us.
Step out of this world where there is a lot of problems, and we go there, we just forget it.
Yes. If that resonates also with you, will you do a mime applause at her, which is like a waving hand? Yes. Thank you for sharing. Absolutely. The magic here is palpable. What I want to point to is that there are commonalities in the room. There's unexpressed commonalities. And just having the opportunity to start a conversation, there's a moment of connection. As human beings, we're hardwired for connection. It's what drives, it's a life force, it's what drives us. So that's one of the things that I'm most passionate about with theater, is it's an opportunity to take a magnifying lens and look really deeply at what it is that makes human beings tick, and what makes a human connection so powerful.